Alexis Rocha is rematching Raul Curiel, and the first fight happened roughly 13 months prior. I remember watching it because I was watching that and the Beetlejuice remake. Beetlejuice, decent movie. It's one of those, I'm probably going to go more in detail on a movie review here, but Beetlejuice kind of hit me with everything I wanted to start and then didn't really have a place to go in the middle, and then the end just kind of happened. Maybe it's those nostalgia things where they really know how to get it going and play the hits, but then some of the substance of the first one might have been lost in this second one. For this fight, Alexis Rocha is, for as well as I can tell, a good ticket seller. He's won good fights. He just never quite has been able to get over that hump as a contender. He lost to Rashidi Ellis kind of in a step-up fight, and then he got absolutely outclassed and beat up against Giovanni Santillan. That fight was a huge setback because that was to put him in position to win a world title. That loss actually set the stage for Brian Norman Jr. to become a world champion. So kind of interesting piece of history right there because that adds some context to where the division went. Curiel is just, he's promising, but he's very up and down. There's moments where against a certain class of competition, he gets first and second round knockouts. And then there's times where I don't really know where he stands as a contender. Good volume fighter. It felt like in the first fight, Rocha fought about as good as he could, and Curiel might not have maximized his abilities. Typically in these type of fights, I favor the younger fighter. Curiel now has a new team around him. It is a battle of kind of, Curiel's a pressure fighter. Rocha can be a pressure fighter, but he's also shown at times that he can box. I think at the Dominguez fight where he showed that. It's an interesting battle, and it's kind of like two welterweights, Golden Boy Promotions. Who's going to be the one that can get into the title picture? And then in the co-feature, which I'll get into on my Substack, there's a good rematch of a regional level fight that kind of elevates people. So the keys to victory for this one is Rocha has to frustrate Curiel. Curiel in the first fight, I think, lacked a lot of creativity and the ability to initiate offense in great ways. A lot of what he was doing was plotting, and I'm going to get my licks in, etc. I think that movement, active jab, and just kind of not allowing Curiel to be lazy and come in without having to work. I think that alone frustrated Curiel a lot. And I think if Rocha does that, see, now the thing is he's a little bit older, not that much, but 13 months older, and he's where he's at in his career, that might actually be something. So he's going to have to do it at maybe a different pace than he fought the first fight. Maybe he can still do it at the same pace, but I think he's going to have to also pace himself at a different pace. Curiel is someone where I think that his path to victory is really weaponized pace. He needs to get this unhinged fight of the year type bout going where he's landing a lot of shots, he's working a lot, he's punching to the gut, he's really making Rocha have a physical fight. I think that the one interesting thing is Rocha's never lost to this type of style. I think Giovanni Santillan had a little bit of a different style than Rocha, than what Curiel did in the first fight. Big X factor is the new team for Curiel. What adjustments have they seen? What have they made? If you're, asking me, I don't love making picks, but if you're asking me, I always go younger person in this, but then Rocha's team has a lot of momentum. So it's a true 50-50 fight. I'd say neither guy has the wow factor when you watch them on tape. Neither guy wows you with one athletic trait or something. So these type of fights, I think, build a special relationship with the fan. Hopefully they can have an exciting fight or someone has a great performance, and that builds someone into a notable name that can contend for a belt. So I think these type of fights are very, very important to have. Starts the year, and honestly, I'd say this every year, but this year it didn't matter for Fighter of the Year. You get a win in January, you position yourself to be the Fighter of the Year if you take great fights. So if Rocha or Curiel can fight 3 to 4 times, you kind of elevate to star status if you fight in January. So that's another thing to watch and to keep track of. Let me know in the comments if you agree. I have tons of content coming out. Hit the subscribe button. And as always, if you want to help with the algorithm, hit the thumbs up button.